Oh, cocksucker.
Silent of goal! Lakewood are doing it! They're gonna take it, baby!
It's not gonna work for you, too.
Dropping fast, Monaboy's there! He's still alive!
We're sorry. We'll be back live. We're running the intro again.
We're running the intro, we're not muting the mic. Hashtag production. Alright. Well, we're back now, guys. Welcome back to Newbee versus Dreamtime. This is mostly just for the YouTube VOD watchers, so do apologize to all the Twitch folks, but want to make sure we have a clean VOD for the good people out there who can't be with us right now watching the Summit live.
They're lost. They're lost. But if you are watching the YouTube VODs and want to support us, do continue to watch our YouTube VODs. Check out the bundle and all that jazz, but
Sweet nectar. K-pop got me some coffee.
I'm still in the water. I'm being healthy. Well, coffee's pretty
Coffee's
bad.
not unhealthy. You think like anything that has more caffeine than a cup of tea is the devil's juice.
Yeah.
I like the Stormband though. That was definitely a go-to pick for Newbee here.
And it may even go as far as batting the puck as well. I feel like.
Yeah, it's not as common of a pick for Newbee, but it suits this draft well. It's good against Centaur too. If you blink silence him, he doesn't get his ult off.
Yep.
The fight gets rough.
Yep. So DT get the Mirana second pick. This I'm happy about too. I think it's underpicked in the Chinese scene. I think it's a really good hero. So we'll see how they look to lane and play the Mirana. XDD's been playing a lot of the Mirana just in a carry role. So they make a Mirana farmering and then get some kind of semi-carry for the mid lane. Maybe DT get the puck themselves, but for now, Sanking ban. Yeah, if the Sanking's the other good ban, because Sanking AA, very powerful support duo.
It's just so annoying to play against as well. Like if you don't come out way on top in the laning stage, they just get a blink on Sanking level 6 nature apparition, and it's so easy to turn the game at that point.
Yeah. Oh.
Fourth ban still in the works here. There's still a Shadow Demon as probably the best partner for Mirana. Bane works a little better against Lifestealer, but yeah, they'll ban the Shadow Demon. It's a solid
Insta TA pick as well, so there's your mid hero.
Oh, that's dire TA. So much more intimidating than the Radiant TA.
Yeah, I agree. It's pretty scary, and they can get the Shadow Shaman as other support. Go back for that old school like Shadow Shaman plus AA support duo that
they
became popular.
That would be really greedy, but
yeah,
can DT punish it?
If they get like an offlane hero who doesn't need too much, who just like your Clockwork, your Nyx, your tempo controller type offlaner. I think they could get away with it.
Look at this
Jeez.
This just mangled hexagon.
Newbee have like nothing on their
no
hexagon.
disable,
no substance,
no counter push.
They're a poor child in Africa right now.
Yeah, they have Ancient Apparition, but they also have Lifestealer and TA who are useless for counter push, and their push is pretty bad too. I don't disagree with any of these.
Yeah. Okay.
If they get a lot of items, they have good
Yeah,
push, but that's like any hero.
They'll grow and expand. Just wait for these next couple picks here. DT, is this going to be another Wisp Tiny? They pick up the Wisp?
Oh boy.
Or is this just a casual Wisp pick? We'll have to wait and see. Look, game 2 they lost, but I feel like you can look at that and be like, oh, they played so well and it was their game to lose. Let's give the Wisp Tiny another shot. Why not? It seems to be like one of their just commonly played strats. When they don't get the Brewmaster, it's the Wisp Tiny. Let's have a go at it. I don't know.
Yeah, Tiny Wisp is just so annoying to play against. Yeah. I think TA Lifestealer is one of the better duos to deal with it. You can man mode on the Tiny.
Both have like magic immunity as well. Well, TA obviously you have to farm the BKB, but it's
you always go for it. That's the main thing. And you can also blow up Wisp with TA. That's what TA really excels at. Is just insta-gibbing supports, and Wisp is not a support you want to leave alive for very long. Yep. What would they do if they didn't go Tiny? Like anything else that you can think of that they like to run?
Wisp, I don't know, but like Wisp Luna's always decent. I think Wisp Gyro used to be decent, but Gyro's just become like an iffy hero in general. Or you go for the Wisp Rickies and the Wisp C. And the Wisp CK is just
I like Wisp Ricky. No, I don't know if I like it that much this game.
I don't.
Lifestealer, as long as he gets Rage off, he just doesn't. You don't miss. You don't get silenced. It's just very annoying.
Yeah, Ricky would be really bad here, I think. But Tiny's not bad. There's a
What is their Tiny Wisp pick rate? Have they been turning to this a ton? Because I thought it was mostly like the Air Brewmaster 5-man strat that we saw in Game 1.
We can get K-pop on the stats for that, but for now, Newbee go Enchantress. I like the Enchantress. We haven't seen much Enchantress. There's been quite a few Enchantress second stage bans today, but this is the first actual Enchantress pick we've seen.
I worry that Dreamtime have just cornered themselves a bit. Like, yeah, Tiny Wisp is strong, but Newbee probably expected this was coming, and
they definitely realized it was a possibility with their bans, I think.
And to me, Dreamtime are just I don't know. I liked the style of game 1 better. It just felt like it suited them more.
Yeah.
They didn't seem incredibly efficient. Their engagements were good, but their late game decision making was a tiny bit suspect. So I feel like you might be more comfortable not going up against Newbee's veteran experience later on and just trying to snowball your way to victory like they did in game 1. We'll see how it plays out. I'm liking Newbee's draft though. Give away tiny risk, but you've got a lot of pressure heroes, great split push, early access to Roshan, good Rosh lineup. They've gotten a lot in exchange for giving up this late game.
Yes. So last pick for Newbee, the Doom taken out. Like Zhao 8's played a lot of Doom. He doesn't care about going off. We've seen offlane Doom come back today. There's been 2 or 3 games of offlane Doom, and every time it's done decent work. So yeah, I don't mind.
6 out of 57 matches.
That's pretty high.
They've
Like, I would say
run
that's
tiny
a
whip.
decent percent for such a niche strategy. Like that's
Including this game, Brian, or
this is number 7.
Okay.
Like I think.
so this series is 2 of their 7 tiny whisk games
Yeah.
on record. That's a decent amount.
Like considering that's a small match sample size, I think that's a decent number of Wiz tiny games.
Newbee will go tied.
Okay. There's your offlane decent-ish team fight, but. Oh, that's a value loss. Support Mirana. They were not expecting this because of the Mirana being there, and
Well,
Mirana
the late game
was.
secured.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. It's weird little.
I like
think
Ember
Ember's
versus TA. The fire guard,
Yep.
flame guard just destroys refraction.
Ember's going mid. Yeah, I'd say almost for sure for this.
Yeah,
So-
that was the other thing is they ran the Tiny Wisp mid. Tiny's farm was not the best that game. He had a big impact with the ganking, but you run just the safe lane, tri lane, and centaur off. You can really stack the jungle up.
Yeah. We'll see if Newbee look to adjust their lanes at all. Like they could, in theory, go for an offensive tri lane with the AA Enchantress Lifestealer to try and punish this weak tri lane, and put the Tide against the Centaur, or even Tide against Ember Spirit, so TA gets against Centaur. Like there is possibility for Newbee to just mix up the lanes to try to get better matchups, but it's risky. So
Well, looks like we're missing our in-game look view here.
I'm still in the draft, LD. I don't. You're cheating. You're in the future, LD.
How am I? How
I'm perfect world.
So-
I just want to
I look
this
over
out.
at God's screen. He's like still in the draft. I'm like,
Yeah,
is my,
dude, my
has
draft's not
computer
over.
been snorting some drugs or what's happening
I'm
here?
15 seconds behind you. What is this? My clock's even moving at a normal pace. Okay, no, it's no. Okay,
Your heroes are just sitting in the well. Just reconnect. Okay.
This is fun to watch. Look.
All right. You cast off of your screen. Yeah. See you, Sproink.
I can't change it too. It's the stupid freaking Valve names that they don't let you change. I don't even know how you change them. Like the players, how the hell do you change these names?
There is a console command to disable showing them, which Matt sent me, but my console... Oh, actually, it is working. But
Okay.
I'll do it later. Anyway, it's Game 3. It's our final match of the Summit Asia for today. After today, we only have one best of 3, one best of 5, and then it's one team. Either one of these two teams or Vici, who joined DK, representing China, representing Asia, at the Summit. With that being said, we'll introduce the teams now. Newbee on the dire side, Sangsheng playing your support Aged Apparition, Hao playing the Lifestealer. We have Banana on the Enchantress, Moo handling the Templar Assassin. These pings are giving me a headache, and Xiao8 as your offlane Tide.
For the Radiant side, the team looking to keep the dream alive. It's Dream Time or DT Club. We've got Dreamy U playing a support Mirana. Getting the bottom route. Air's going safe lane with his Ember Spirit.
Okay.
So not the mid Ember Spirit I was expecting. It's going to be Super playing his signature Wisp. XDD on the Tiny once again. And in the off lane, in July, playing the Centaur for Dreamtime.
So, thinking about the Mirana Ember combo, it seems kind of weird, but if you get level 2 Searing Chains, and you Sleight of Fist Searing Chains, that's a decent arrow setup.
Yeah. Smart from Dreamy U bottom lane. Make sure the range creep isn't out in front. And
If Tide just
Center
gets a
stuff.
point Kraken Shell, though, can you really run him down? This is the main question.
He goes level 1 Kraken, so just going to be blocking as much of the harass as possible. They're looking for that early Searing Chains. They're running way up.
Yeah, they don't. Ember doesn't chase that well at this stage of the game. Sleight of Fist has a very long cooldown. If he goes Flame Guard build, I guess he chases decently, but we'll probably see him take the 2 points in Searing Chains. I'd say probably 1 in Sleight of Fist, and then go for more points in Flame Guard. We'll see what he wants to do, though.
Yeah, Zhao has the boots. Air's getting, once again, bottom lane, getting close for his Searing Chains.
Even if they hit it, there's still the Kraken Shell, though.
Yeah. And Zhao is playing it smart. Whenever he'll trade hits with the Mirana until Ember Spirit runs at him, and then he backs off. So he's got the boots, so he can easily get out away in time from Air. Until Air gets boots, He's pretty safe in the off lane.
Galloping towards the top lane is the Enchantress. Barely made it by the enemy jungle, and I think also smoked out of Radiant Ward vision. They dropped a nice Observer Ward here. Normally a good way to see those smokes coming, but they don't seem to realize this one's on its way. I didn't catch
the... He could
the...
snipe the bottle. That would be a huge pickup here, but he's not in the right place.
Oh, he's taking too long, though.
He's coming
Or
in.
maybe. Moo on the retreat out now. They just need that initial slow from the Enchantress.
Oh, it gets pulled back.
Nothing. They get the Wisp, maybe.
He can tether high ground. Oh, 5 seconds off, so not happening. That's a waste opportunity. They could have almost killed... They could have killed top with that if he wanted to, or...
Could have killed top, could have almost killed the Courier, or
Yeah.
could have killed mid, but gets nothing in the end.
Like, you see the Wisp rushing the bottle, and you can definitely expect the kind of the general timing of that coming out. Now mid lane, Moo's in trouble. Loses a refraction to the Avalanche. The Centaur stun's there as well. Moo may give up first blood here. The Centaur stomp.
Oh, the
Enchantress,
reverse Centaur
yeah.
stomp. Centaur on Centaur violence. Rated R. Not for children.
Be kind to your kin. That's the one thing my family always taught me. Family are always there for you, no matter what.
Well, Tiny clearly doesn't feel that way.
Or Centaur, yeah.
Well, no, considering that the Tiny just massacres the Mud Golems on a daily
That's
basis.
true.
He's a genocidal maniac.
Well, they're like the distant second cousins that you don't really like.
They're your not very intelligent
No,
second
like
cousin.
it's okay to throw that family
Look at
up.
that is
on the
not a
road,
very smart character.
No, that's the family you pretend aren't family, but like your direct family, they're always there for you.
Nice stacking by Newbee. They'll really get a nice ancient stack. Oh, no, never mind. I jinxed him. Too early.
Zhao Weight's going to show up mid lane to maybe save Moo's life. Well, Moo's okay regardless, but they're really putting the pressure on here.
Where's that Courier upgrade? Yeah, there you go. He needs that.
Mid lane also needs it for the Bottle Crow. It looks like it is headed towards the mid lane. Wisp, no money for a Courier upgrade. Mirana, no money for it. Mirana going for an early Orb of Venom. Whew. We've seen this every now and then, like Ancient Apparitions getting Orb of Venom. Here we get to support Mirana with Orb of Venom.
It's just a good... If you're going to be doing a lot of right-click harassing, then I think it's a decent value pick. Especially, we saw it from... I forget who we... Yeah, Ancient Apparition, I guess. But Mirana's... She's got Leap already, and you're mostly just looking for the Ember to set up, and then you arrow follow up. So having move speed, I don't... It's not that important if you're just going to be sitting in this dual lane. So I think it's okay here.
Yeah.
It's not that great on ranged heroes, though. 4% slow instead of 12. Gives you okay damage.
It's, pretty average, but...
Someone did mention to me that it's not reduced by Kraken Shell, which I guess is somewhat of a decent reason to pick it up versus Tide.
Not bad.
That's just what someone tweeted at me. I'm not... I assume it's true, but not 100% sure.
Alrighty. Well, the Wisp Tiny mid still going pretty strong here as Enchantress... Actually, gonna get caught out here. Enchantress has no boots.
Oh, they've got a haste. Oh, they haven't taken it yet, but they'll find the stomp. The Tiny will take the haste, and this should be our first blood.
Yeah.
Don't even need the Tiny.
Yeah, they get the good burst damage there. Just level 1 on the Nature's Attendants, and even if it was more points, Tiny would have shown up for the kill. Tiny took the haste, though, and that's you kind of wanted on the Wisp because Wisp has the bottle, but not the end
Still
of
has
the
the
world.
bottle charges.
Yeah, just could have chewed through him, but hey, he's got decent amount of mana regardless.
Hasted Tiny can also run in and toss you back, which is what they're doing right now. The Avalanche still available from XDD. Great patience on this one. Working on Moo. Does have a meld, though.
You lead with the toss, and like the refraction blocks the toss damage, so it's almost like you need a lead. Well, Avalanche, you block with the refraction as well.
Yeah, Avalanche has a few instances of damage, so it'll do more to deal with refraction, but you're just not getting that kill at this stage.
Yeah, the Avalanche gets rid of the full refraction, but it also blocks most of the Avalanche damage. I'm not sure the exact number of instances of damage.
In Dota 1, it was I think in Dota 2, it's like... I think I was reading it was 4, because we were discussing this yesterday or the day before, but... In Dota 1, it was a ton of damage instances, so you get like almost the whole Avalanche Toss combo damage. It has... The way it's coded in Dota 2 is a bit... It's less instances, but it's still more than one.
Is that not a bug? Like it doesn't match Dota 1?
Just one of those, like, Ice Frog has decided it.
Yeah.
It should work this way.
Top lane, tier 1 tower seems to be in trouble as Enchantress rotates in. Doesn't get a gank, but this does just force the Centaur Warrunner away from the tower, so... Banana gets the last hit. I think, I guess it's not the end of the world. How already has his phase boots and may go back for his Midas.
Time to get that Midas.
Yeah. We didn't see it last game from Lifesteal, but...
The Enchantress Midas? Are you a fan?
Not really.
No, I'm not either.
I think it's situational, but not the way like, these Chinese teams play Enchantress. I don't think it's very good. If you play like the super greedy kind, it's okay.
They do have an Observer Ward, and Moo is precariously close to it.
Rune gonna spawn bottom, so Zhao Wei Invis Rune. He's hit level 3.5. He's done all right. Seems to be about same place as the Centaur is right now. Centaur just slightly ahead, partly because of the assist he got.
Tether forward in July. Uh-oh, Centaur on Centaur action. This time the Conqueror prevailed. Why does a creep have a more badass last name than the hero? Conqueror sounds much more awesome than the War Runner to me.
That's true. It's like the cliche name though. Like you give the War Runner the hipster name.
You give him hipster points, but not badass points, which are what really matter. Yeah. His name's Brad. Brad Warden.
Yeah. Dude, who we go, Brad or the Centaur Conqueror?
We're quoting K-pop Toast.
Yeah. Yeah. He looks like a Brad.
Yeah. Flame Guard's online. It's level 2. Mostly removed here, but
I don't like this Centaur cosmetic, the one that hides his face. He's got a beautiful face, Centaur, and he's hiding it under his helmet.
Have you seen that hero portrait? That is a hideous grimace. He looks like he's trying to go to the bathroom and is constipated. Look at this. Look at that face. That's such a serious face. Silence.
I just want to see his eyes. I don't know.
Gods, you're gonna make me miss a kill or something really important. Just shut up.
It's what we do at 9 in the morning. We've been casting all night.
I'm really sad as well. I don't have my Twitch chat.
Ah.
I feel so lonely. I'm just trapped here in a room with gods. Toss him back into the tower? No.
0 damage from that. It's just constant pressure. You've got the bottle crow. You got the wisp bottle crowing. Like you've got kind of endless mana to some extent. So they're just happy to keep on spamming it, and
Ember's getting big.
Maybe one day something will crack.
Trading Ember farm for Lifestealer farm. Yeah. Generally, I'd say it's better to get the Ember farm, but we'll see what they do with it. Oh, super tethering out. The Avalanche is there. Moo. Barely missing it. Toss him back to safety. Get the hell out of here, man. Save yourself. He will save himself.
Okay. I think the lifesteal for the Ember Spirit farm is kind of like a... I don't think you can... An Ember Spirit, in theory, can have a slightly better mid-game impact. Ooh. Takes the haste rune.
He does take a ton of damage from that combination Anchor Smash meld.
Like, I like the Ember Spirit as far as mid-game impact goes, but Lifestealer... Like, well, I think it's kind of equal. Like, Lifesteal has no good infest targets, the main problem this game.
Yeah, that is actually a good point. They need a Blink on Tide or a Blink on TA, and neither one is farming particularly well. 35 CS on the TA and 5 on the Tide.
Wow.
Offlane Centaur is 0, to be fair, so it's not like either offlaner is having a good time. But he's getting slightly more levels. Well, no, they're even now.
Newbee with a very slight gold lead. Well, 2k gold lead. Part of that being just the early tower they got, though. And DTR stacking neutrals, preparing for Tiny to sort of enter that mid to late game phase. And
Ember can farm these as well. They're a really good just creep clearing lineup in general.
I think DT's timing comes when Ember Spirit gets like probably around like level 9-ish, level 10. He'll have phase drums. Phase drums is basically the timing. That's where he looks to join up with this Wisp Tiny and start fighting a whole lot more.
Yeah, he's very strong at that stage. He's maxing Flame Guard. I like this build a lot. Probably we'll see the Sleight of Fist max next, but Flame Guard was untouched in the nerfs to Ember and remains as, in that sense, I guess, the spell's gotten stronger relative to the others, so maybe a strongest spell now.
Tiny getting close to his phase drums. He just cleared off the big neutral stack, so that gets him about, what, like 600-700 gold.
Yeah, that's a lot. Level 7. He will take a meld to the face. Is there a relocate out? There's not. Forced to blow the avalanche just to get out.
And Whisper's already used up all his bolt charges. 10-minute rune coming, but again, Newbee have been so good camping these runes. Zhao Wei at the bottom lane, and top lane though, Moo's gonna get there in time to win that race.
They do have Ravage now, and they also have Ward Supremacy on the side of Newbee. DT largely in the dark. They did see Zhao Wei rotate to the bottom. Oh no, wait, they just dropped that. Yeah. They didn't actually see him. I don't know if they've realized he's gotten Ravaged. They should be checking that scoreboard and finding out soon, though.
There's a Mirana and AA in this game. Like, these two supports have been very quiet this game. Mirana especially, you expect to see arrows flying around, and Mirana's hit level 6 though, so even though Mirana's been low impact now, like having level 6 on your support already for that Moonlight Shadow could come into play. Although for the most part, Newbee are pretty proactive about making sure they have sentries.
Newbee gearing up for a really strong mid game, not going for a Midas on the Lifestealer, going straight into Armlet. Xiao 8 hits level 6. They want to find a kill mid. I
yeah.
think this will be the death
They've
of
got
Super.
Dust as well for the Moonlight Shadow.
Can he tether out in time? Nuh-uh. No time wasted by Xiao 8 in securing that kill.
That's an ambitious Ravage.
Well, they've got Hao here as well. I don't know about this engagement from the Ember Spirit either. Dust gets deployed. Injuly walks in, though. He has killed off one. Tiny arrives as well, but with no Ravage, they're still feeling good to fight. They'll bring down another. That's 2 that have fallen, the Centaur and the Wisp. 2 Hero Sleight of Fizz, Searing Chains combination. Then the Spirits over the top. Air almost finding multiple kills. He's almost brought down Moo, but he gets turned around upon the Moonlight Shadow. Or no, the Starfall, not enough.
Nothing.
Spells being used. Getting all the names wrong, but you get the idea.
10 out of 10 for effort,
You know what I intended there.
Yeah. That was...
They were so close to dying, though. TA, Lifestealer.
Lifestealer, yeah.
She had, like, I think her Refraction blocked the last 1 or 2 Starfalls, and that saved her.
And Centaur was so close to living. He got the Stampede off, but the Meld Strike followed him from, like, 700 range and just killed him off, so... Very close to a teamfight victory for DT Club, but close doesn't cut it when you're versing Newbee, and Newbee come out on top. That was very, very gutsy for Xiao Wei to just throw that Ravage right off the bat. Only caught the Wisp in it. There was no one else at the mid lane. They TP in and almost punish him for it.
And now they've got Armlet on Hao, and now he's scary in these fights. And Moo can look to fight as well. He'll go for the regen room bottom, goes right into XDD, who's actually out of mana. The Gush comes through, the drums are deployed, and they might get XDD as well. No relocate out, the Ember Spear trying to keep him alive, but one more right click, Hao will bring him down. Then they go in with Air, who tries to zip out. I don't know if he gets out, there's a Gush. There's another remnant. Yeah. Barely.
Yeah. Arrow being used just to help cover
This
him a
is
little bit as
perfect,
well,
though. You see they're running this tiny Ember Wisp combo. Yeah, their mid game's not bad, but you are not wanting to let them sit back and farm.
Yeah. On mid lane, they're not done. They want to have another go at this tower. There's no trees here to even like cover Xiao Wei. Oh, he's using the one single tree. He's like, I'm just another tree. Yeah, he looks just like one. He's green. But no, he pops his head out now.
Are they going to try and contest this? No Ravage online. H-Apparition ult has come back up, and it's crashing in mid. It's connected on 2. Ember will start the fight off. Goes on to Hao. He gets tossed up. He doesn't get to use anything. Moo next.
That was a 5-second arrow. That was huge. Hao getting arrowed under the tower just set that entire fight up. Really important play from Dreamy.
And that's a Lifestealer with an Armlet and 15 Magic Stick charges that didn't get to use anything. No Rage, no Infest, just bursted.
They kill the 2 most important heroes on the Newbie side, so nicely done.
And with now Ravage is back up. Boy, they would have loved to have it in that last fight. Yeah. He's almost got Blink, but it's not ready yet.
Yeah, I think the Blink Rush is smart here.
They found Banana on the backside. It's a level 4 double edge instantly. Just sniped.
They're just giving away kills in a row here. Xiao Wei gets off the Ravage. That will finish off the Mirana here, but with Hao back and TA also respawning soon, I think DT just need to disengage.
Wisp has relocate. Do they have any way to cancel it? No, not even being used yet. Now Hao takes a double edge to the dome. The toss is there. No, he's got Rage. Goes on Injuly. Cleans him up. Relocate by Super. No mana available. Oh, XDD, you're dead. Air maybe keeps him alive a bit longer, but the chase is on. The kills are strong. And they lose 2 carries, then promptly 2 carries feed back the other way. It looks like Moo will go down here. Zips out of Remnants. 1 cooling down.
The chase is on. Arrow, ooh, hits Banana. Coming in from the backlines is Dreamy. You only a level 1 Starstorm. He wants Banana. Gonna struggle. Just gets him. That was close.
Oh, Moo wants to go for additional kills, but can't quite do it.
The max arrow is nice. Does some good burst damage, but the Starstorm was just like a bit pathetic.
Now they have the Blink on Tide. Imagine if he had in that last fight, but he still got off a decent Ravage. The issue was they were just kind of spread out. Like, it barely killed off the one retreating hero's Invis. And then it hit these heroes, but it hit them at max range, so they weren't really clumped up for a nice Ancient Apparition ult or combination.
Hao almost died again in that fight too. That was really close for your Lifestealer.
This Armlet's saving lives.
Yeah.
It's a good thing he got Armlet. Imagine if he just tried to go Midas.
DT loved to go for this like fight. It's kind of like constant fighting combined with constant pushing.
There's a relocate available. Centaur ult forced out.
Yeah, just to save the Tiny. Even relocates him home. Newbee know
Free fountain trip.
Newbee know exactly where he's coming back to, but it's on the Radiant side of the river, so it's kind of risky to contest this with no Ravage.
If they had Ravage, they could totally go on this, though, but no Ravage. Still the tiny Avalanche toss. Not afraid to take these fights, but perhaps he should be. Takes a gush to the face. Hao going ham with the Armlet. A few more slaps. Almost brings him down. It's not quite enough damage. He's still alive. Continues to be bottled up. And now a 1-for-1 trade. The Ember kills off the Tide, and the TA working her way through the Mirana.
Yeah.
Ember. Oh, those imps. They hurt.
Yeah.
So a tied for support Mirana. That's actually a bit of a win here for DT.
Yeah, bit of a win. Yeah, the big arrow is continuing to come into play here from Mirana. Dreamy U's done really nicely.
Airstill's a remnant zipping out.
Tiny's ready to go back in. He's been constantly healed up. This Wisp has just been team medic with the bottles, the urn charges. He is out of urn charges now, but... Oh, bottom of this. So much of this game has actually been revolved around runes. Both teams have been constantly fighting over runes.
They do have Sentry Wards here. The dust is available.
He
Super.
gets out?
I don't know if he gets out of this one, guys.
Yeah.
He's dusted.
He gets out of the river, but he dies somewhere else.
Yeah, he'd rather die amongst the trees. It's a good Wisp.
That... Like,
They have Ravage again. Constant aggression.
gets the fire rune out. Jeez, this has just been non-stop fighting, and every time a rune's spawning, both teams are fighting over the rune.
Yeah, there's only like 6 heroes to it as well.
It's kind of like, it's a refreshing change, because in the 6-point metagame was kind of like, mid-heroes just bottle crow and don't even care about getting runes. You leave the runes to your supports, but this time around, TA and Ember Spirit and Wisp has been constant. No, not Ember Spirit. The Tiny and Wisp have been constantly fighting over the rune pickups.
Yeah, completely agree. They'll clean up the tier 1 mid, and now the way to Rosh probably lying open. They have the 4 points in Gush, actually.
This is TA plus Tide.
That's a lot of minus armor.
And no points in Untouchable for the Enchantress, so that's not gonna...
That's actually pretty unusual. Normally you see just a single point enchant and 2-3 points untouchable, not maxing the heal first.
Yeah. The heal's pretty powerful, like early on. Like
it's
kind of like a quasi like unless you have the burst damage bringing down the Enchantress, it's like somewhat invulnerable while you have it up. Although there's burst damage. Tiny and Center is the definition of burst damage.
Yeah,
So.
DT I guess just have so much burst, so much nuke damage that you want to be able to pop the heal and hopefully juke for a few seconds and live long enough to turn the fight.
Well, no Roshan just yet.
I guess the main thing is they're not really like a pure Rosh lineup. They don't have like Shadow Shove and TA. Tide TA is not bad, but this Enchantress gearing up for more of a standard like mid game, not a let's take Rosh at 10 minutes kind of draft.
Top tier 1 tower goes down. Super getting the last hit, but
Blink on
they just want to make
Santa.
sure they get the tower ASAP.
They do have a blink available on TA if she wants to go for it.
I've been seeing more like buy something. Is that like a drums Yasha? Yeah, it's Yasha. The TA seems to be like a phase drums Yasha BKB in the like, it's almost every single game. It's the same build. Phase drums Yasha BKB then Deso. Well, Deso's kind of like where you veer off a bit, but these starting items is always almost always the same.
Oh, Hal gets bashed, then he gets arrowed. I don't know if they go in on this though.
Yeah, they've got sentry wards down, but
They have a relocate. Air's in position. They are lacking in July for this, though he has his ultimate from afar. And the Radiant Wards are spotting them.
Yep.
Or the Dire Wards, rather.
Tide's ready with the Blink Ravage. And also some Arcane Boots on top of that, so this will help his team out a bit just to sustain them.
Tide is really nice against relocate. You relocate in, or you even Centaur initiate in. You stun, maybe bring him low. He just Kraken Shell procs, and he blows you up.
And you're not looking at a BKB on Tiny for a long, long time.
Actually, DT don't normally build any BKBs. Maybe, maybe Tiny.
Tiny's like after Aghanim Scepter, like and Assault Crest maybe.
Another arrow. That one's just gonna split the
nice.
uprights. Doesn't hit anything.
How saw that one coming?
Angeli's ready. He jumps into the Rosh pit. He's stunned too. Rosh low. Not dead yet. Who's going to snipe it? The Aegis going the way of the Dire Side. They also get the last hit. Now Air. Oh, Sleight of Fist tries to retreat out. The Tiny standing his ground, but Banana's alive. How? He dodged some damage with the Infest. Now pops back out. The relocate from Super won't get them back to safety in time. He'll make his own way out, but they lose 2 cores. The Ember forced to retreat.
Yeah, that's...
And they hold on to the Aegis on Mu.
Xiao was ready for that, and like even the perfectly timed Roshan was so low. Maybe if they just gone like a millisecond later and been able to get the stun as Roshan died to steal the Aegis, but it was just...
I'm starting to feel like DT's draft is just too greedy. It's Tiny and Ember.
They're not taking the best fights. They like all these fights over runes, and even mid lane, like Wiz Tiny just kept trying to dive TA under the tower. They didn't feed at all. They didn't give away kills, but they just didn't really do a whole lot.
They didn't stack the jungle as much as they could have because they were busy going for kills. Sleight of Fist comes out. It connects on a few, and Mu sees this as a potential Q to go in. The Courier, micro that. Oh, it'll make its way out. Gosh, on XDD.
There may even be no Ravage, but I think even with Ravage down, I think DT have to be pretty careful about the fights they pick and choose.
This is that old school TI2 Courier.
Yeah, the Flying Turtle.
Yeah, Valve gave me this. And then I gave it away to an ungrateful friend who stopped playing Dota.
What a jerk. Did you get it
Then
back?
he sold it.
Oh,
What an
man,
asshole,
that's
man.
the worst.
That thing's worth a lot of money, too. It's like $300, I think.
Oh, wow. You're missing out, man.
I'm not going to name him on stream, but...
All
this also
all
happened
those
with the
esports dollars.
happened with the TI2 gold chest courier as well, the
Yeah.
one that drops coins everywhere it goes.
Yep.
I got both of those from Valve, and both of them were taken from me. My babies. And I thought it was for a good cause, but I was wrong. Well, I digress. Leading now by 7,500 gold, 7,500 experience. DT definitely in a good position, though. Ember, close to a Battle Fury. He's got Claymore gold here. Actually, already has the broadsword, so he's got Battle Fury. Now, you can't get too comfortable if you're Newbee. They're in a good position for now, but a lost engage or two. Suddenly, Tiny's got Ags. The Ember's got his next item, and they can turn this game.
Yes, I think and pushing high ground's always gonna be the tricky one for Newbee. Like pushing into Ember Spirit and just whiz Tiny when they can go split push other lanes and just be annoying with that relocate is gonna be hard. So
they're very good. They're a very good turtle lineup.
Yep.
And they can split push like you mentioned. So that combination makes it just hard to end the game. They do have Aegis though. I'd say TA with a BKB and Lifestealer just in general as a hero. These are two of the better heroes at breaking towers. TA normally builds pretty heavy damage. He's got a DD rune.
Oh,
They can toss and look to cancel this rage. You can toss magic immune heroes, so just I guess wasn't there quite in time to cancel the TP.
It was life. No, it's not life steal. It's TA with the Aegis. So
Yeah.
okay.
Jepper Chanel comes in bottom. It will connect on Dreamy U. It's the second one he's tanked in as many fights.
Yeah, he'll be okay, but just barely.
Not having fun.
Yeah. He's like, his items just like look crazy, like not a conventional.
Cloak? Is he building a pipe?
I think he dropped or sold the cloak.
Courier. Oh boy.
All these small.
That's carrying some valuable items. Smoke, sentries, and observers. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but can Wisp buy more? No, Wisp can't.
Just
Mirana can't.
Newbie just getting all the
They
small
have
things
no-
go their way right now.
They have no vision for 3 minutes.
Yikes.
No gold for
Yeah.
anything. They
No-
could maybe... Do they even have anything in the shop?
And like that one ward they have up near the top of the map just isn't giving them important defensive information which they
They
need.
can buy a smoke and sentries if they have the gold, but they cannot buy observers. They're out of
Okay.
observers. That's a big loss, actually.
Yeah.
Because Newbie in the next 2-3 minutes will be looking to fight. They'll have the Aegis for 2, and this is a good time for them to be engaging. Very scary for DT. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Super actually had some on his hero, so I was wrong.
Okay. Well,
They do have some observers.
well, the Sanjin Yash is completed for Hal now on the Lifestealer. Not that it's going to be like, oh, we've got Sanjin Yash, let's go fight, we're good to go. I think they'd rather wait for like even Zhao Wei to get his mech. I think that's like a bigger item pick up at this stage. But for DT, they get the Tiny Yags. But at the same time, like Tiny, we talked about, needs a BKB this game at some
The
point.
Cleave brothers. The thing is, both these heroes kind of want the same things, right? They want to farm big stacks of Ancients and Neutrals and split push and keep on farming. But neither of them is that great at creating space to farm with. Tiny is decent.
They seem to fill the same role, the two heroes, like having both in the same lineup. Like
If they get enough farm, though, it's just like one
Yeah.
Ember Slight and the Tiny Cleave could just wipe all of Newbee. But yeah, they definitely seem to fill a similar role.
LGD, Tongfu, IG are going down the mid
Just
lane.
pick one. You'll probably just say them all. You'll probably get one right. Ace turns up on Mu. He's also got a BKB, and Newbee are gonna force the high ground. No split push for you, they say. They'll work on the tower, albeit not quickly. No Desolator here. Arrow will connect on Mu.
Moo's
Built
got
BKB.
Aegis. He wants to be the bait. He's got 30 seconds or so on this Aegis, so if he dies, it's no big deal.
They did lose a tier 1 bottom for this, so
Yeah.
that's a bit expensive.
Their mech comes at this time as well, so they really want to try to get this tier 3. 30 seconds on Aegis, so Moo is probably going to commit this creep wave, and if he has to, throw away the Aegis,
Or they
give it
just
back
fully
up.
back. They'll choose fully back.
Yeah.
They're missing out, though. There's no stacks here. Those were already cleared out.
Yeah.
They gave up a tier 1 as well. That was not worth giving up a tier 1.
Well, till next Roshan, Newbie wait.
And DT farm.
Okay.
And farm quickly.
I
They do farm quicker. Like, they have so much cleave and just AoE spam. on these
Newbie
carries.
can't just like sit back and let them just. They've got to keep the heat up.
Yeah, they've gone for fighting items. They've gone for mid-game items. No Midases either, and they're up against these heroes that just slaughter huge stacks of creep. So they have to either be getting kills, controlling the enemy jungle, or just getting Rosh and pushing high ground off of that.
Dreamy, you walked into that one.
Yeah, that's good though. I'd say the Mirana getting caught there is it's ideal if someone's gonna die.
You tank the smoke gank for the team, and yeah, not bad.
Though the problem may be no
They're still going
buyback.
mid lane, even without that's no Aegis, but they say let's go mid lane. Like, even just a Mirana being dead, a 5-second arrow, like it's actually one DT. DT's only teamfight win was when they killed the 2 cores mid off of a 5-second arrow.
They do need to make this work though, because
Yeah.
DT are pushing a tier 2. They've already
Oh,
cleared
yeah.
it. Now they're going high ground potentially.
Wow.
Glyph has been forced out. They still have a Ravage available. There's 0 BKBs on the side of DT. No mech.
This Wisp
no
Tiny
pipe
pushes
yet.
fast too.
Can they even trade successfully here? The tier 3 tower taking heavy damage. Not dead yet though, and they'll back off, but it's pretty damn good trade for DT once again.
Yeah,
Trading versus Tiny Wisp is just so
I
difficult.
don't mind that for DT. Sure, they lose their tier 3, don't get a tier 3, but it's still solid damage done, and just going to be constant reminder for Newbee that they have to always worry about the back door coming in from wherever it may be.
Probably from the back door. God's is
mean the
not
front door?
amused.
You can back door. Yeah.
No, I know what you mean. I'm just being.
Oh my god.
I'm just being sassy. Gods is so not amused. It's like, what is this comment?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Silly human. They do have a Tiny Wisp relocate available. Observer ward did spot out the Tiny Heady here. Uh-oh, air. Gotta be a bit careful. Oh, that was not a good jump air.
Yeah.
What was that?
Was that the YOLO? I want this tier 1 tower at 27 minutes in.
Now relocate bottom onto Moo. Does he have a fresh refraction? He's popped his BKB. Still gets right click
Okay.
down.
Okay.
That's an
The
expensive.
trade's suddenly a bit better. I mean, I don't think you can call that a trade. I think it was just 2 separate occurrences, but
Two separate feeds.
Ember Spirits was pretty bad. That
Yeah,
was,
the TAs was I think the BKB
Yeah.
was unnecessary, but understandable otherwise. The Ember was just a feed.
Yep.
What was that? He had the Spirit up as well.
Well, from here on out, DT still in this game. Like we talked, they've got the Cleave Bros. They've got a lot of damage output. Ember Spirit's got his Crystallis working on the Daedalus. So
Despite the death, he's farming quite well.
yeah. Top CS, top 2 is both on the DT side. They are behind on net worth, but that's partially Tower Gold, partially Rosh Gold, also Kill Gold. But the actual CSs is on point right now. So Tiny and Ember Spirit are up there with the Lifestealer TA.
The biggest issue for Newbee is just they can't gank that well. Like, they don't have a Storm. They don't have a Prophet
Yeah.
with a Hex.
They can.
You can't blow Ravage to stop Tiny split push, because then Ember free farms the whole
Yep.
time, and same for vice versa.
The last smoke gank was like a infested Tide with like a blink gush initiation. Like you don't want to blink Ravage, but the thing is, you blink gush, it reveals where Tide is positioned, so you're never gonna have that surprise Ravage factor.
Well, as the Tide pick, it's been solid so far, but can
Yeah.
it bring home the victory?
We'll see what it's gonna be here. Both teams positioned fairly far back. Air.
Oh, it's so risky
on,
to
man.
go on the Ember there. You blow
Please.
Ravage, and you've just given them... They'll just
Casual
relocate to
relocate,
split
yeah.
push.
Why not?
Yeah, I like this use of relocate. We see it quite a bit in Western Dota from
Yeah.
Western Tiny players. DK were very clever with their relocate, recall back, split push. I didn't get to cast that, but I saw the highlight reel. That was impressive.
That was nice. Tiny at bottom needs to be. He's actually out of mana, but he's fine. Whispers abandoned him just for now. He says, "I got ancients to stack or neutrals to farm."
DT are really catching up though on these core heroes. Some of the supports are a bit poor, but realistically, what's Mirana Farm gonna offer you this game? Her damage will be irrelevant compared to these heroes. She's mainly here for Arrow, Moonlight Shadow, and maybe even Leap.
Yep.
And Wisp is the one that you'd like to see more items on, but we'll settle.
Wisp maybe mech soon, but I don't know if mech's not gonna be.
Then
a
again,
game.
Enchantress Farm is not very good this game.
This Enchantress is not. It's not been a game where Enchantress can do too much. Got a few early ganks off. The gem will be like, let's get some map control, but this is going to be a game more about the mobility of the Ember Spirit that was tiny, and then initiations from like Tide, Lifestealer, TA. Like Enchantress, this is just a hard game for an Enchantress to do too much.
Double damage rune bottled up by Air and works on the
Okay.
stacks now.
They're a team fight with a Daedalus and a DD rune, and
They're winning in terms of CS now by a solid margin. Tiny up about 15 on the Lifestealer. The Ember up about 30, or no, sorry, 25 on the TA.
the net worth is pretty much identical too, despite Roshan's and Tower. So, I mean, they're behind. Tiny's behind by about 500. Ember Spirit maybe about 2K, but it's a pretty.
That's one
smallish.
team fight. They'll be up by 2K.
Yeah.
So
We'll see. DT now pressuring top lane, but unfortunately this is Newbee getting the next Roshan of the game.
But what if they done with... The Aegises haven't really accomplished much. This one, I feel like there's a lot more pressure on this Aegis to get something done.
Yep. They want Raxus with this. Manta Style picked up by XDD. I still desperately think he needs a BKB this game, just against the Tide Ravage. But
Just against Ravage?
he can just get burst down in the Ravage is the problem. Like,
No,
Ravage...
dude, it's no problem. Just Manta dodge that Ravage. Easy.
Is that even
Easiest-
possible? I don't think that's possible.
It's it's low percentage play.
Yeah.
Even if it is possible. I'm just saying it's easy.
Oh,
These guys are professional players,
This
right?
trio of heroes top is just that. It's a trio against potential 4 or 5 hero rotation from Newbee. Yeah, they're TPing out.
Yeah, I actually don't even know if that's possible. Either way, your game plan should not be built around
I
that.
would say no, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, either way, it's not what you want to build your game plan around.
Yeah.
He does want to BKB. The thing is, Tiny can take these man fights with TA Lifestealer once he gets enough farm, even with the BKB. Lifestealer's gone Deso, Sanjin Yasha, very mid-gamey
They're
item.
pushing with the Aegis, but Ember Spirit's ready. He's got DD. He's got DD Daedalus. This could be
God.
scary. His DD just got proc because it timed out, so he had to proc it.
Oh god. Oh god.
I guess
All
it's
eyes
just
fixed
how
on
on the
air
front
here.
line.
Just a casual
Okay.
slight. Wait for the Daedalus crit though. That's
The
where
DD
things get
wearing
real.
off soonish.
No, he's got some time here. It's
Oh,
connects to the
Arrow
series
now.
change. That's gonna immediately pop the Aegis. How? Oh, they lose it off the bat. Not a good way to start this push. They haven't even done much damage to the tower. Now the BKB comes out for Moo. Keep an eye on the Emperor. He's
DD
just
rune.
perched
So
on
scary.
the side of the fight. The Tiny Wisp not arriving yet. They go for the stomp. They connect that one on How. He almost kills off Banana instantly. Ravage gets thrown out. Perfect timing from Xiaowei. Right as the relocate comes in. XDD annihilated, but not dead quite yet. How giving chase. The Ember sips back to the fountain. They have gotten Rax.
Yeah.
Xiaowei with the ultra clutch Ravage as they arrive from the relocate.
Ember Spirit, I guess the Enchantress in. He did so much damage that fight. He did like 80%, 90% of DT's damage output there. He got so many heroes down to red HP. He killed off the Lifestealer, but there was no follow-up. The relocate came at... it was just not the best
That
timing.
was-
Or the walk-in from the Tiny, not the relocate, but...
That was super good timing by Xiaowei, like
man.
right as they joined the
Yeah,
fight.
Xiaowei played that fight well, but like that was Ember Spirit +4, and the +4 were not doing a whole lot that fight. One nice arrow. They did clear the Aegis with a nice arrow.
That was set up by Air as well, with the
Yeah.
searing chains.
That Air was just he's been the star player of this DT club team. I think they played really well as a team overall, but they just need that small bit of extra individual performance from like XDD on Tiny or from the Centaur in July initiations. Just something that little bit extra is just missing. It feels.
Well, I would not count them out of it, though.
No.
Not with this draft.
Not by any means. Air, like you just get a few more Daedaluses, get a Divine Rapier, whatever it may be, and
I think you probably go second Battle Fury here. That's normally the... If you're getting a decent amount of cleave, that's the best damage
Yeah.
build.
okay. So Aegis expired, so I think Newbee at this point is just gonna be like, well, we've struggled to get those Raxes. That
Let's wait for the next Rosh,
Yeah.
guys.
I think that's probably the game plan here to some extent. They can maybe go for smoke ganks, try to find some pickoffs here and there, but I think just trying to siege a high ground without an Aegis is probably a bad idea for them.
Xiaowei is going Refresher as well. This could be a big one. Still 0 BKBs on DT against Ravage. And soon double Ravage.
Well, they'll see.
This
him-
is how you lose games to a Tide Hunter.
Yeah.
0 BKBs, and on top of it, no pipe, which, Ravage does a decent amount of AoE damage, actually. It's 450 times 2. That's 900 damage before reduction. That's nothing to sneeze at.
Oh dear. So Tiny, I don't know if he's seen the refresher coming just yet. Xiaowei's been in the jungle, but when he does notice that, he needs to be like, okay, I got 3k gold. That's a BKB gold.
There's
nice.
so much other stuff it's not good against, but
Yeah.
just for the double Ravage, yes. With double Ravage, you definitely need BKB.
If he had a BKB in that last fight, I think DT maybe just win the fight.
He got blown up by the Ravage.
Yeah.
He got Ravaged, and then they just right-clicked the crap out.
Top
Oops.
lane. Sending it.
My camera got drunk
Stampede
for a
out.
second. I sobered it
Got
up.
scared. Stampedes and no big 70-second cooldown on Stampede, so no real loss there for Newbee. Oh, for DT.
So key for Newbee, farm the Refresher, I would say get Heart on Hal. That looks to be
Yeah.
the next item choice. TA, maybe you get Daedalus. I think it's too late for a Desolate. Well, they already have one on
And
Life
two of those
Stealer.
things are basically done. Refresher is basically done. Heart is basically done. Like, these items are just a couple hundred away.
And maybe Eggs on H Apparition, though I don't really see him farming it. But beyond that, you get third Rosh, Aegis Cheese, and you go for the second lane of Rex.
Yeah. For DT, well, what would be your bullet points there?
DT, split push, get BKB on Tiny, which they just did, and have some buybacks ready to defend.
Yep.
They've got double Ravage. If they blow their buyback, or if they blow the double Ravage and they don't get like a team wipe off of it, you might be able to turn it
I
around
think
with some buybacks.
Especially the Ember Spirit buyback's probably going to be the main key one, I think.
Yeah, Tiny's got the BKB. He's more able to fight and
Yeah.
less likely to die.
Yeah.
Fallen.
And for now, Newbee.
Other bullet point for DT is get some crits. Get your crit on air.
Newbee are all about the map control now. They go deep into the enemy jungle, like looking like they're pushing bottom lane, but realistically they're just trying to get deep wards down into the Radiant jungle. They've got great vision all over the Radiant jungle. This will help prepare them for the next Roshan because they'll see DT coming well before they get near the Roshan pit.
And if they smoke, it's from the base.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And at that point, it's like you see no one anywhere on the map, you know that smoke's coming. So
you have 15, 20 seconds to figure it out.
Yep.
Even these traps are in clever little positions, just giving vision at paths that heroes
Yeah,
tend to hide in or wander through.
And often DT will try to get greedy and farm the Dire jungle, feeling like it's safer than their own jungle, which is pretty a true assessment a lot of the time.
The Leviathan and the Rockman are eyeing each other from across the chasm.
I'm not sure if Xiao 8 saw the Rockman there, but definitely not the vice versa of that.
Just from our point of view.
Yeah.
They are going to go in now. Xiao 8's got Ravage #1. There's a
There's a
BKB,
guy.
though. Oh, he doesn't want to waste on the Tiny.
Does he blink Ravage?
Oh, it's so risky. Is he going to go for it? Really?
No.
They do not want to start it off that way. Is there a Basher? No Basher.
They didn't have. I think he may have ravaged if he had the gem there, but like you ravage and it's like there's no follow up because you haven't got vision.
I don't think they saw any of those other heroes. It was just the Tiny who was then invis.
Are they gonna just push with tiny BKB cooldown? They may decide to do so.
Ooh, that's a good point. It's down for 60 seconds. This could be an opening.
Yeah, they've got the heart and the refresher we're
The other
talking
thing,
about. So screw
having
Aegis.
seen the Tiny BKB, they probably know he doesn't have buyback. So if they kill XDD, that's game, I think. Blink stop initiation. Here comes your first Ravage. XDD, he needs a bailout. The arrow comes in, but it's already too late. Ravage #2. Shall wait. Cleaning up. And now it's one lane of Rex to fall after the other. They should be able to bring down this top lane. Dreamy U running for dear life. The Ember hanging on, but it was the double Ravage from Shao 8 that did them in. The director seems like he's found the opening. Air needs to retreat out from this. There's no Tiny buyback. He's out of it.
It's all air or nothing right now. Rax is at top, getting exposed, getting brought down, and with that, it looks like Newbee have done it. It looks like they have bounced back after losing game 1 to take this series. 4 Raxes down. DT Club will fight to the bitter end, but oh boy, are they in a lot of trouble now here.
Newbie looking pretty solid. The veteran experience coming into play in the critical moments.
Yep.
They now lead by 15k gold. They'll easily be able to secure Roshan #3. That'll be Aegis and Cheese. They'll have double refresher. Or double ultimate online for double refresher. Last thing DT needs to do with is 3 tide ultimates. They'll have Shivas potentially soon. That goes separate. Goes for a value item. But yeah, they'll have the next items. The Daedalus, Hal can work towards his Basher Abyssal Blade, and then the Tiny BKB won't even matter. With an Abyssal Blade, Lifestealer can just right-click Tiny in the fight.
There's one answer for air. It's going to be the Divine Rapier. Picks up the relic. He
like
had 4k gold. Like, you're down 4 Raktus, you've got to go Divine Rapier, and that's what Ember Spirit's going to be called to do. Unfortunately, he's 2k gold short, so I don't even know if he farms the Divine Rapier before.
And he's shown the relic as well, which means Newbie are probably like, well, he doesn't have the Rapier.
Yep.
He's either saving for buyback or he doesn't have the gold, and probably he doesn't have the gold.
Yeah. It's still like plus 60 damage, like not bad. Like it does make your Slider Fist a little scarier and your crits hit crit a little harder, but it's not going to win you a fight until you get that Divine Rapier.
Well, if you just wanted a damage item for value, you get a Desolator for 300 more gold.
That's true. Oh,
He's going to get hit by an H Apparition ult, then Slider Fist through. He'll Remnant now.
okay. He needs to Remnant early and fast. So, traps in the Roshan pit from the TA. They see Roshan's respawned, and I think they want to just make a beeline towards that Rosh pit. That's being pinged by the Capitano, Mr. Xiao 8, and I think we see them just take this down pretty much uncontested. It does give space for Ember Spirit to get it finish off his Divine Rapier, maybe, But I don't even know if that's going to happen. It doesn't look like it's going to happen in this like 2-minute time span if Newbee goes straight from Roshan
I don't think they can give this up.
to Throne.
Newbee can just throw bodies at the next lane of Rax, and I think they come out on top of that fight.
Yeah. No, that was a very fast and easy Roshan. Aegis Cheese. Moo takes the Aegis. Cheese Bahao.
Do you just start... the thing is, you can't really sell items to get this rapier because it will not be worth it in terms of overall damage output.
You can sell your wand, but that's about it.
Yeah, but I'm saying like he can't sell a damage item to get the rapier. It won't even be helpful.
Yeah, I think he's already sold his drums at some point. Relocate out. This Wisp is gone. Unless they're not fighting this. So it's a dead Wisp.
Goodbye, Super.
Oh, Moonlight Shadow.
Gems here on Enchantress.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Enchantress didn't realize you need to be nearby, but
just casually runs towards him.
that's 40 seconds, no Wisp, and that actually, like, Tiny not having overcharge is a pretty big deal in the fight, so.
They weren't winning fights with the Tiny Wisp. I don't see them winning it without them.
No, it's more like you need every little thing you can get if you're DT club at this point to stay in the game.
And moves and the items just keep on piling up. The Ags is out on the Ancient Apparition. Newbee going for the jugular here. This could easily be the GG. One more push. They've got the double Ravage. They've got everything they need and more. There will be a stomp on how to start this fight off, but he's at 3,000 health. With an armlet active, he's at 3,500, and it's time for this tier 3 to go down, he says. Stands in the front lines, tanks the Ember slide, and just keeps on pushing forward.
It's getting a bit out of hand here. He's not even having to use the rage to siege the high ground here.
Rana has hit an arrow on Xiao 8, but that is not the hero you want to jump.
No. Ice Blast is casually used here. Super X needs to be a bit careful. Moo gonna... Oh, 2 shots him. Oh, what a disaster.
Ravage number 1. They managed to dodge away from it on one hero. The Force Staff out from in July. They still have a reserve Ravage.
Number 2.
They want to save this for a better opening. BKB has been forced, though. And Moo just cleaning up on the sides of the fight. Sleight of Fist connects on 2. Ravage number 2. Here we go. XDD. That's your Moo triple kill. This is going to be it. Newbee overrunning DT at the final hour. There's no Tiny for this. He's forced back to the well. Moo trying to bring him down. Another blink. An Anchor Smash 2. He's going deep. He doesn't get it.
Okay.
He does still has Aegis.
He is creating space to get these Raxes here. Ember Spirit forced back to Fountain here. Buybacks galore coming in from both teams here as Enchantress trying to end this game. No one on Newbee just going down. The Ember Spirit just unable to finish off these heroes.
That's the Mega Creeps team.
Yeah.
People doubted Team Newbee.
He's got his Divine Rapier if he wants it. Moo's hiding. He's waiting.
Crouching Moo. Hidden trouble.
Has the Aegis, though.
Tiny has arrived on the backside of the fight, but they've given up Mega Creeps. They need a whole lot more than this. Super's relocated in. He gets melted. Xiao 8 with a nice Ghost Scepter usage brings them down, and Moo releasing his inner crit. A double kill. What a crit monster. He's not even done yet. They're hunting XDD. The end times are here, and DT will tap out. GG. They're going to the losers bracket, and they've got a date with Vici Gaming. Newbee.
Wow.
They're the only team left standing in the winner's bracket. They move into the grand finals, and they'll have that winner's bracket advantage.
I tip my hat to DT Club still. They played an amazing series. They've had an amazing tournament. They're still alive, though. I'm talking like they're out of this. They've just dropped down to the loser bracket, and you really got to give these guys a real shot in against any team they play nowadays. They're just playing some amazing Dota. They're a great team.
They are. I felt this draft was a bit too greedy. Ember, Tiny Wiz, and trying to run like Battle Fury Ember, like hard carry Ember, hard carry Tiny, basically. It was... They almost made it work, despite that.
I think it was like, oh, we can 5th pick an Ember Spirit and catch him by surprise, but they didn't put the Ember... I feel like Ember Spirit mid against the TA, but they were really just dead set on doing the Wisp Tiny mid, and the Wisp Tiny kept going for those aggressive plays, but never really got any kills.
Good movement from the Centaur early. They got them some early kills from Injuly. He ends the game 0-7, but... Actually, I felt like helped secure the mid lane and just wasn't enough in the end.
I think he had a decent game.
Xiao 8 is the hero for me, though. That Ravage, like right as Tiny Wish joined the fight in the mid lane, wins them the mid lane, gets them the first lane of Rax, then the double Ravage and the top push wins them the game.
I think Moo also played really well. Like I think looking at how much he avoided dying to the Tiny Wish combo, it looked like he was just had refraction most of the time, but he actually played it. He played the really clever where he'd really push the limit in mid lane, compete for farm, get as much as he could out of the lane while not dying. I think Moo played an amazing TA as well.
Well, guys, it's been a long day. We're not going to drag it out too much. We'll just fill you in on what's coming up. So, Newbee are your winners bracket champions. They await the winner of Vici Gaming versus DT Club in the grand finals. DT Club, they drop down here. They play Vici Gaming tomorrow in a best of 3. The winner of that plays Newbee in a best-of-5 in the grand final. So the overall winner comes to LA. They'll fight for, what is our prize pool up to? Well, already up to $107,000. So it's gone up like 4 or 5K today alone. Pretty good stuff. Thanks for your support, guys. We did release stretch goals. If you haven't heard about them, there's some fun ones in there. There's some additional content, things like 1v1 tournament, tag team matches, good stuff. So definitely check it out. I think the next stretch goal, what is it? I can't even remember.
The 30K
Pudge
one
Wars
is the
All-Star
Pudge
match.
Wars, yeah.
If you want the Pudge Wars All-Star match,
Pudge was just announced too.
we're close. We're almost there. If you want to see Dendy, Ice, Puppy, DK, and Navi, and the rest of these teams that haven't qualified yet, mixing it up in Pudge Wars, then
we're not Navi DK biased. It's just the only players we know that'll be here. So we keep saying like, oh, you want to see these guys? Well, potentially these other teams as well. So
absolutely. Guys, thanks for joining us. It's been a marathon of a day. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Of course, be sure to follow the people here. Follow Kpoptosis, twitter.com/Kpoptosis, Gods at BTS Gods, and myself, if you'd like, at LD Dota as well. And of course, at Beyond the Summit, all VODs will be uploaded to youtube.com/Beyond the Summit TV. You've been watching The Summit, powered by Twitch. Yeah, got it. Nailed it. Apparently when I'm tired, I get my directions less confused.
You're doing better.
Been watching The Summit, powered by Twitch. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We do have Summit America action coming up. That kicks off in probably like 3 to 4 hours.
3.5 hours, maybe.
Liquid versus E-Hug starts it off. We've got
3 hours.
a total of 5 best-of-1s today, I believe. Okay. So lots more Summit America action coming soon. But for now, Summit Asia takes a break until tomorrow. Have a great night. Or day. Whatever.